Guys, get ready to get hyped AF. You remember that wind sniper that you summoned and you're like, what am I gonna do with this? And you stuck him in storage, or the fire cannon girl that you summoned and you're like, what am I gonna do with this? And you stuck it in storage. Well, they're not getting buffed, but now they're gonna look so much cooler in storage. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? There's some new Transmogs coming out. There's a teaser for new Transmogs. Let's take a look at them and let's see. Although there are some people speculating that these are going to get, they're alluding to the things that these are going to get buffed in the next balance patch. I think that's more that's what they want and not what's actually necessarily going to happen. Some of these units may get buffed in the next balance patch, but I don't think that this is going to specifically, like, this is the units that are going to get buffed in the next balance patch. We'll take a look at that later. We'll talk about it later. But here are the new Transmogs. You guys probably, half of you already saw it because you saw it in the game. But pretty nice Transmogs, I gotta say. Summoner's War team always kills it, always does a great job. Rakshasa on the left. I want to say steampunk. It's not really steampunk. It's more like punk, right? Very nice, though. Very nice. I'm down for steampunk. I'm down for punk. Very cool Rakshasa. Probably one of the better Rakshasa Transmogs so far. Beast Monk. That's got to be the best Beast Monk Transmog. That looks straight out of like Thundercats or something. Like, don't you get a you guys, you kids don't know what Thundercats is. Everyone that's older than a kid, they're like, yeah, Thundercats. Yeah, I know what that is. Actually, no, kids. There was a reboot of Thundercats, wasn't there? Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's got to be the best Beast Monk Transmog. That's got to be the coolest looking Beast Monk. Too bad you can't use them. Like, you can use them all the time in Guild Wars or things like that. But too bad you don't really see Beast Monks used too much aside from that. Like, are you running dungeons with Beast Monks? Not really. Beast Dungeon Leader skill though, Peggle. Yeah, I know. Interesting, right? But you're not really using a whole bunch of Beast Monks in dungeons. You don't really see too much of them in RTA. Unless people are using them as like the gimmick or like, I have it. Let's may as well use it. So yeah, I wish we saw them more, but Polar Queens, nice Transmog. I think the Polar Queens already have some nice Transmogs though. This is another one, I want to say like a My Fair Lady style. You guys don't know, you're like, My Fair Lady, is that this? What is that? I don't know. Very elegant, stuffy British woman Transmog. Can we just call it that? Stuffy British woman Transmog. All right, it looks nice. Can't wait to see the animations on some of these. I'm more excited for the Beast Monk than anything else. And then we have an Elfelt Valentine Transmog. I mean, what I meant was an Arknights Transmog. Sorry, slip of the tongue. What I meant was Bunny Girl Canon Action. There's a lot of different anime girls that have like the bunny ears and the giant guns. Like, it's not even just those games that have. Also, that wasn't even Arknights. That was a Guilty Gear. But that's besides the point. There's a lot of different games and anime stuff that has like the bunny ear girls with the crazy guns. That was also in, what else was that in? That was like another fighting game too. I mean, I know Guilty Gear, but another fighting game. Anyway, looks really cool. And then the sniper, which is just more snipery. It's just, he's still a sniper. He just looks different snipery robot. Actually, is he not even a robot this time? No, he's still a robot, right? You just can see less of his robotness. Anyway, not that we're still going to use them, though. Well, a couple snipers are good. I still have the Fire Sniper rune, man. I still use him in the Windrift Beast. He worked. I didn't see a point in de-runing him, so I just kept using him. Anyway, there are some people speculating, though, that these are going to get buffed in the next balance patch because that's how they've been doing it, but I don't know if that's how they've been necessarily. Oh, that's not it. I don't know if that's necessarily how they've been doing it, though. If we take a look at some of the other recent Transmogs, she wasn't buffed in the new balance patch. Like, this stuff was not buffed in the recent balance patches, so I'm not quite sure. Well, these two were just from the that thing. They saw a balance patch. That was still a while ago, though. That was like. How long ago was it? Was that 9 months ago that they got that she got nerfed? Feels like 9 months ago. When they didn't buff like they gave Perna a new Transmog, right? But they didn't buff Perna. When was the last time Perna Sigmaris? Tishar was buffed like 9 months ago or something like that too. But that was before the transmog. So I don't know. I don't know. I think people are getting a little bit ahead of themselves, like thinking that these units are going to get buffed just based on transmogs, because we've seen a lot of stuff that gets transmogs that don't get buffed, right? We'll take a quick look at some of these units. I'm here on Asia server. It doesn't really matter though, because we're just looking at transmogs, so it doesn't even matter. We could take a look at some of these units though and see if any of them actually need buffs or nerfs or whatever. They wouldn't sell transmogs and nerf a monster, would they? Yeah, they would. Yeah, it's common to us. Yeah, they would do that. They would definitely do that. Just take a quick look at some of these units and see, like, do they need buffs? Do they not need buffs? Hua, not quite as relevant as she used to be, but she's still decent in an R5 team. She's still decent. Honestly, I still use Hua, because I got Hua built on a couple alts, right? For like R5, for like the standard, I'm sorry, non-BJ R5 team. Oh my goodness, holy moly. But yeah, she's good. She's similar to Lorne. I know a lot of people like the Lorne. Lorne's good, but Hua does damage, right? So Hua does attack age reduction and slow, just like Lorne, but Hua also does some damage. So you could even use them both in the same one, right? She's a fire unit. Also, sometimes fire is an advantage over element neutral, right? Because if you're hitting wind units, right, like a Skogul or Triana or whatever. Anyway, I don't think Hua necessarily needs a... I know Lauren is super popular. I don't think Hua necessarily needs a buff. She's still pretty good. Sue, I think, is an underrated unit. Sue's got a lot of attack age reduction. It's not a reduction, it's absorb. This does a stun if the enemy is granted with a harmful effect. Inflicted damage, buffed damage to like bosses. 50% extra damage when you're hitting bosses. Right, so actually, this Water Rakshasa is pretty underrated. I'm not saying like everyone should go out and build her. I'm saying like I built her on 2 accounts. I do not regret her at all on those two accounts. I'm very happy. Yen is actually already pretty meta because people realize that Yen could just proc and kill lots of things. So Galleon, Clara, Yen for Guild Siege defense teams. And everything super ridiculously fast is already a meta thing, so I don't really see this getting buffed. Pang and Ran, we just got Hall of Heroes for... Which one did we just get a Hall of Heroes for? We just got a... Wasn't it like 6 months ago, and then this one was... They're all pretty decent. They're just speed-based DPS units, which are all good. I don't think that any of them really are like, oh my god, we're bad, we need buffs of any kind. The leader skills are global, right? So you can use them like basically anywhere. I don't really see a problem with those Rakshasas, honestly. I know maybe some people will disagree, but I don't really see a problem with those. Beast Monks, however, I think the Beast Monks are decent. The real problem with the Beast Monks has always just been, well, Shazam was kind of poo-poo, right? Shazam was a little bit poo-poo, and then they made him less poo-poo, right? The Dark One, Raoul, was a little bit poo-poo, and then they made him less poo-poo. The real problem with the Beast Monks is their leader skills. Like, the only thing that really the Beast Monks... If they, I mean, we've been saying this for years now. It's not like me saying this. It's the whole community has been saying like, yo, make them Guild War leader skills. And then because that's where we're using them. Guild War, Guild Siege, maybe Labyrinth. Like, that's the place that people are using them. Why not make them Guild War leader skills where they're actually being used? No one is using Kumar in Giants V10. I'm sorry, Comtuous. I know you think that they... I know you think we are. But, oh, hey, greetings from Comtuous. I know you think we are, but we're not. They're going to do this shenanigans. They're going to get in my way. A new patch will be installed from blah, 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 blah. 2:30 p.m. Oh, this is Asia server. It's different on Asia server. Anyway, all these really needed... Oh, my God. Yes, Comtuous. Yes, we know. We know. I don't know why they have to do this in the middle of everything. All they needed was to be changed to Guild War and Guild Siege leader skills. Incorrect amount of awakening. Oh, I thought they already did that actually in the last patch. Okay. All they need is a Guild War leader skills. Preferably, HP would be crazy, right? HP, resistance, defense would all be great. All be great leader skills. Yes, Comtros, we know. And make sure to avoid the... Yes. You're beautiful. Thank you for the transmogs. Fix the Beast Monk leader skills. Thank you very much. Just get the thing off my screen! We're fine, guys. We're fine. We're fine here. Anytime you're ready. I just want to talk about how the stupid leader skills. They're like, Bagel, we don't want you to yell about the leader skills. Fine. Stupid game. Anyway, what was I saying? Leader skills, right? Dungeons, we don't need that. This is, man, could you imagine if this would be pretty good if this was for Guild Wars. 44% defense, that'd be great. Accuracy, if this was Guild Wars, I don't really think we would care, right? We kind of want HP, accuracy. Switch those to HP. This doesn't need to be. I think actually some people may actually use this in dungeons, but just like as a triple fight runes, right? Because you could actually use that triple fight runes with illusion and then like Halia and like Crow Lin or something like that. Halia double Lin, right? I think you could actually run that in dungeons, weirdly enough. But just really slow and just a fight rune holder not getting any turns. Just for the fact that he's got such a crazy high dungeon leader skill. But yeah, just HP and defense and resistance for dungeons. That's all they need. What's next on the list, though? Ooh, Polar Queens. Yeah, could you imagine a Tiana... We don't need a Tiana buff, do we? Tiana's second skill now also stuns and defense breaks. No, we don't need that. Tiana's third skill is... It's going to strip the enemies. It's going to strip yourself. It's going to increase your attack gauge. It's also going to AoE push back all of the enemies' attack gauges and bomb them. No, no, we don't need that. Tiana's fine. Brandia could use a little bit of a something, right? Brandia could use a little bit of a something because she's not really as meta, because Crow is there, because there's a few other units that do damage based on, you know, debuffs and enemies max HP, and they do really, really big damage to bosses, like the Windcat and a few other things too. But Crow is just so big right now that you have the Crow, you have the Homunculus, yeah, there's a few, Xiaolin, right? There's a few other things that like you don't really see Brandia too much. There's a couple super speedy runs for Dragon's B10 that use Brandia in there, but it's just for like you just use Crow, really. That's kind of the thing. Alicia's already amazing. Eleanoa, I have her on the Gianna Project account, but I haven't really gotten a chance to use her too much yet. She's a combo unit. She doesn't really do too much by herself. If you have some other disgusting combo monsters like Gani Hathor, Eleanoa could be pretty ridiculous, but she's not always crazy. Lydia, also pretty decent already. Like, I don't really think that these Polar Queens need a buff too much. However, moving on to the these guys. Oh, jeez. Actually, they're not even that terrible. I want to say that they're super terrible, but the Carcano is not that bad. He kind of buffs his own attack power. He defense breaks a random unit. It's random. It could be changed to something. Strip and defense break a random unit. Oh, wow. Then that would be stronger than... wouldn't that kind of be stronger than the Light Harp, though, Celia? If it was stripped and defense broke? Like, stripped all the buffs and defense broke? That'd be ridiculous. Maybe that's too strong. Maybe don't do that. This guy's already amazing, but compared to him, his little brothers are not really very relevant. He does a lot of damage, but he's a great unit for Windrift Beast. So maybe if you're having trouble with that, that's not bad. Carbine is pretty terrible. Carbine is pretty terrible because he's a squishy DPS unit, and his passive, he needs to get hit. It's like he's good in Ice Beast. That's about it. He's a pretty good Ice Beast unit, but aside from that, no. Aside from that, he's not very exciting. This guy's a counter cleave unit. He's actually not that bad. I know some people are bummed about getting him. They're like, oh, I tried to use Magnum. Actually, you don't even... All you need for Magnum is a whole lot of damage. Just basically like a Fat Lucian runes, right? Give him a tiny bit of speed, but he doesn't really need that much. Because whenever an enemy gains a beneficial effect from a skill, so like Bastet or Draco, you know, getting cleaved, right? He will cut in, he'll steal turn, and he'll do big damage. So you just need to rune him with a lot of damage. I've seen people use him effectively as a counter cleave, and he works actually really well. You just need to put a lot of damage on him, right? And you can't use him everywhere. You can only use him in a few different spots. Dragunov I actually haven't gotten a chance to use yet. So, I know, it's been like 6 months or something like that. Crazy. Haven't even gotten a chance to. Oh, don't look. I don't want to look at those. I don't want to look at those. Wait, where's the other girls? The cannon girls. I thought they were right after them. Anyway, Scarlet. So Scarlet's actually, I feel like she's got potential. She's got this skill. Triple hit decrease attack gauge. It's not bad, right? This is random hits. Defense break. This is actually pretty good, especially for Necro, right? And then we have this Fatal Mortar Bullet. Attacks the enemy with a cannon gun. Weakens defense for 1 turn. 90% chance. Inflicts damage on all enemies and destroys their max HP by 50% of the inflicted damage. I feel that this is just like, it's so close to being actually good, right? It's only a single target weaken defense. So, I don't know, man. Single target weaken defense. Maybe you combo that with Pungbeck or something like that, but I don't know that I would necessarily want to. You don't see very many people using her. Or any people using her, basically. There's just, she's close to being good, but yeah, she could use something. Abigail's actually really, really good. She's underrated. She's got this defense break. She's got this strip and decrease attack bar by 70%, which is way better than you'd think it is. And she's got a 38% dungeon leader skill. She's awesome in Necro. I built 2 for a Necro for Necropolis B10. 2 for Necro for Necropolis B10. 2 of them on Europe server for Necropolis B10 as a gimmick, and it worked so well that I never took them out. I was like, let's just keep them in. It works great. I don't see a reason to change it if it's working. So yeah, it works really, really nice. Wind Cannon Girl. I mean, she's close to being good, but again, she suffers the same fate as the Wind Sniper. Is just like, she needs to get hit, but she's as good. Like, everyone's got fire threats, tanky fire bruiser threats on defense for Guild Siege, for Guild Wars, for Arena, because Lucian is a thing, because Copper is a thing already. So, Christina in that world is just like, what is she got? She needs to get hit. She needs the team to get hit to do the maximum amount of damage. I think that she should work better in like an aggressive turn 1 team or something, man. Or some damage mitigation passive. Like, if she's supposed to get hit, she should have some damage mitigation passive. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Her kit doesn't make sense. These ones are not bad. The Bella is super fun to play with. I have Bella on the Gian account. Great monster. Super fun to play with. Emily is actually not that bad. Decreased attack gauge to 0 and stuns them. That's like a baby Varad, right? Baby Varad and AoE defense break and leader skill for everywhere. Attack power, leader skill for everywhere. Christina definitely needs a buff. I think everyone in Summoners War community knows that she needs a buff. Scarlet needs some difference. Something. Scarlet needs something. Just the third skill. Third skill needs to be like back to the drawing board. Christina, same thing. This back to the drawing board on that. But these two are actually pretty decent. I like her. She's fun. She's underrated, I think. And then Emily's kind of fun. I did get a chance to play with her on someone's account, and she's pretty fun. And then what else? No, that was it, right? The wind units, man. The just based on the meta that has evolved over the past several years, like, these wind units need to be buffed, or need to be changed, or something. Like, at the very least, some kind of damage decrease, or, you know what, the wind and the fire for both. Like, the water ones are pretty solid. Both water ones here. Wind ones, no, not that. That wind one is fine. That wind one is fine. But yeah, I think it's mainly just the wind ones are the worst of the families for the cannon girl and the sniper, and then the fire ones are not as bad as the wind ones, but still not very relevant. Anyway, that's it for this one. Just want to talk about these. Oh, of course. Of course. Of course. Anyway, perfect time to end, right? That's for this one. I just wanted to talk about, like, those the units that people are saying are potentially going to get changed in the next balance patch. I don't think that they will, but hopefully we see something on those wind and fire units. The wind and fire sniper, the wind and fire cannon girls, beast monk leader skills changed. And the other ones are fine. Polar queens are fine. Rakshasas are fine. But then again, sometimes Comptos just changes things that are already fine. They're like, oh, this is already fine? Let's give it a buff anyway. Like, why? But it's already good. Yeah, but don't you think it needs a little buff? What about Geldnir? Screw Geldnir. That's count to us, right? That's count us for you. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Whatever. We're just discussing like potential. Hopefully, we see some changes to some relevant units in the next balance patch. Who even knows? That's gargoyles need something too, man. Gargoyles. Oh, gargoyles. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you as always in the next one.